Money Magicians. How are you? I'm back in Sri Lanka, as you can see, with this awesome greenery. There's a hammock in the middle there. There's like a yoga strap somewhere there. We do yoga on this porch during the Sri Lankan retreats. It's in Jayala. It's Fletcher's Organic Wellness Holiday Home. So, oh my gosh, I just decided to jump on a live video because I've been sitting out here. Mizo and I have been recording podcasts. We've been recording so many podcasts. We started also tapping into the Zambian market. So one of our podcast guests is Zambian. We're connecting to people in various African countries. So we are super duper duper excited. And Sri Lanka is hot. Like, it's just rained, and I feel like, oh my God, this is what a tropical climate feels like. It's like rain, no rain. It makes no difference. Like, you're just hot, right? And I love it. I was telling everyone on the podcast that in Sri Lanka, like, people always say the land is so abundant, like you throw a seed on the ground and it just grows. So there's like random fruit and veggies on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere because someone might have been eating something and then they just threw the fruit seed or the vegetable seed and it just sprouted and grew. I love that about Sri Lanka. Like, I love the abundance of the land. Anyway, if you've just joined, my name is Vangile. I'm the founder of Wealthy Money. I teach women how to unlock their inner money guru, fall in love with their bank accounts, and live their best lives. And today, I want us to talk about what it means to do the inner work, right? And why we do it daily. I heard a very horrifying story from one of my private coaching clients. She was telling me that she told someone about our coaching sessions, and the woman, her friend, went and she Googled and she was like, okay, fantastic. Van has all this free stuff. I will just read and I will find a formula and then I will do it, and then I'll be okay financially and I'll be where you are from coaching with her. And my friend was like, oh, what are you talking about, Because that's not what this inner work is about, right? So let me explain, right? So obviously, great that you're reading, great that you're listening to the videos. I love that. But reading and listening to the videos, these are conscious intellectual pursuits. When we talk about really doing the deep inner work and healing trauma, we're talking about going into the trauma itself, going into the traumatic memories, going into your body, sitting with that, really healing those traumas, right? So this is why we use the meditations. And the other thing that my client was saying, her friend was saying, is that it's fine, I'll just find Van's formula or I'll find any other coach's formula. There is no such, if you're truly doing inner work doesn't really have a formula, so to speak, right? And I know that we come from the space that if I do A and I do B, then C will occur. No, it doesn't work like that, right? So trauma is an interesting thing, right? So we could all imagine that you've seen in families, right? So just imagine, let's talk about siblings and your mom's siblings, right? You see how they all grew up in the same family. And yet everyone will be different. Their relationship with money will be different, right? That's because, like, even though they've all had the same events, they've all interpreted them differently. And that's because they all interpreted certain childhood memories differently, reacted to certain things differently, made different vows around money or around themselves, or they perceived themselves differently. Same experience, but whole different conclusions, the vows that they created, everything, right? So this is super duper important to understand. So there is no one size fits all. And I was explaining to one other client that it's almost like, think of when you're going to a doctor, right? we go to doctors and then we assume like someone hears that, oh, you've got low blood sugar, right? Another person is told, oh, you've got arthritis. Another person is told you've got a flu, right? Those people are not going to be treated in the same way. And yet we expect that like the same thing must work in the same way when it comes to money, that, oh, I have issues with visibility, but I will just affirm or I will do ABCD for that and it will cure everything. No. So first you have to go deep and understand what is the root cause of everything. Once you have that, then you know exactly what are the kinds of meditations or the kinds of work or vows or clearing exercises that you need to do, because I won't have the same issues as most of the students, right? This is why in the Money Magic course, I can have 150 students in the course. Well, right now in the group, they're 114, but in the overall course, it's 150. I can have 114 students in the group, and each of them are working on a whole different meditation, working on a whole different worksheet, maybe even two people in the group. It's very rare to find them working on the same lesson, right? Because they don't have the same issues. And even if they've gone through the same similar traumatic events, even from the same family, they may have different wounds. You know, like I know for a fact, like, okay, Honey has a mother wound, but I know that my sister, Honey, her mother wound is probably not as great or as intense as my mother wound, right? Like we had very different interpretations because we're different souls. So we can't be curing the same, we can't be changing our finances in the same manner using the exact same tools. There is no such thing as a formula, right, when it comes to healing trauma. So why we do the healing work is because it's layered. So one of the other things that I hear people saying is that, oh, so I'll come to one class and I'll be sorted, or I'll do 5 days and I'll be sorted. You've lived years of your life. You've lived 28 years, 30 years, 50 years of your life, reacting in a similar manner, having the same issues and the same dramas, right, around money. And you think that reacting the same way that you've been reacting for the last 20 years or the last 28 or however old you are around money, or 30 or 40 years, that you're going to just incidentally clear that in like 5 minutes, it's going to miraculously disappear. No, because this has been layer on top of layer on top of layer. And even as we shift in terms of our expansion, what often happens is that the expansion itself gives birth to another limit that we've got. It brings up other limiting beliefs that we've got, other fears, other anxieties, and those must also be dealt with and healed. So there is no such thing as, oh, I'm going to get it done. This is why we do it continuously. And I want us to think of this in terms of think about it in terms of weight loss. If someone came to you and they're like, oh, I'm just going to eat healthy for a day, and then I'm going to be at my ideal weight, you would look at that person and be like, are you crazy? Like, this is going to be a lifestyle change. You need to at least commit to 3 months or 6 months, and that's what's going to change. And you need to actively do it every single day, right? You would look at that person and be like, wait a minute. You're eating all these cakes and all this sugar, all these carbs, and yet you said you want to lose weight. Are you going to gym every so often? And you know that it has to be continuous healthy eating, right? But when it comes to healing, be it healing deep childhood trauma or healing money trauma, which is all interrelated, by the way. It's not like completely different. It's never about the money. But when it comes to healing, and especially healing our finances, we are so happy to be like, oh, I will just come with my financial baggage that I've lived with for forever, that's been part of my ancestry forever, and I'll just come with it. And then after like a day or maybe 3-4 days or even a week, I'll be good. I'll walk out of there and everything will be fine. but you take yourself everywhere. Just like you need to continuously eat, you're continuously dealing with money and you're continuously being triggered. So this is why we do the inner work every day, because it's just like if we want to maintain a good weight and maintain good health, we understand that we need to constantly eat healthy, go to gym, change our lifestyle. It's the same when it comes to healing our finances. We realize that we need to continuously do the inner work around money. That every time we manage money, just like every time we decide, every time we have hunger pangs and we eat, we have to be conscious of how we do that. And sometimes we need help. We can't just like willy-nilly just do it, right? So this is what it means. And the inner work is in the same way that you can't just read up on the gym and just watch like incredible videos on personal fitness and incredible videos of people eating great food and just reading up on that. You need to take action. You need to be actively involved in changing your behavior. And that's the other thing that I've noticed is that like a lot of people are also not, they're willing to just say, oh, I just have to think positively about my finances and then they will change. I did a post a few days ago about how money is not just a spiritual and mental thing. I love that people think it is, but it's also very much an earthly thing. If someone came to me or to you and said, I'm going to just eat whatever I want and I'm going to think myself into health, you would look at them and be like, are you crazy? You can, yes, you want to think positively. Yes, you want to feel great about yourself, but you also want to do something extra, right? If you want to be healthy, you need to make a lifestyle change. You need to do some practical things. However, we are under this impression that, oh, the universe will provide. If I just affirm it, the universe will provide. But the numbers, there's no one running through the numbers and the numbers are not making sense. And then we wonder, why is it that I'm getting more in debt? Why is the universe not providing? Why is this not happening? Well, every time you're manifesting, and it doesn't matter how great a manifester you are, every time you're manifesting and your spending habits are crappy, you know nothing about increasing income. And in fact, increasing income scares the living daylights out of you. You don't have an idea of where the money is coming from at the end of the month. You don't know how much each stream of income can give to you every single month. In the Money Magic course, we have what we call the weekly goal setting worksheet, where I make everyone literally list their various streams of income. Then we work through how much is that stream of income going to yield? What is it going to take? And then you need to make sure that the actions you take are in line with the income goal itself, right? So very, very practical. It's not like, oh, I put down that I want this. So most people will write down, ooh, I visualize and I want this stream of income. I want to start making 100,000 Rand or $10,000 from one stream of income. And I will just think it and visualize it. Great. The universe wants to help you. But what systems have you put in place to allow that? What are you selling to allow those sales so that the money comes to you? Right? Because somehow there has to be a way that it comes to you, right? Especially if you want it to come monthly. So yes, you're selling your incredible products and services, but what systems have you put in place so that people can easily book you, so that people can easily find and buy your products and services? So there needs to be some kind of practicality on our side, right? And then the other side is to figure out, and then we procrastinate once we've written down the vision, right? I know most people understand what I'm talking about. You write the great vision, you're excited about it, and then like a week or so later, you're procrastinating, you're not putting the systems in place, you're not doing anything, in which case, you need to figure out what is it that's causing this procrastination. Now that I've got this entire plan worked out, what are some of the traumas that I am carrying? What are some of the childhood memories? What are some of these vows that I have? And then what are some of the contracts? That's where the inner work even comes in more handy, because now you're going deeper to figure out what is it that is causing me to not make this happen. That yes, there's a part of me that wants it, but there's also a part of me that doesn't want it because it's scared, because it has all these stories, because it has all these beliefs, because it has all these proofs from childhood that this is not a good thing for me. That needs to also be healed. So this is what we mean by doing constant inner work. Yes, we do the emotional parts, but we also need to be practical, right? We also need to help the universe a little. I am not a fan. This is why I'm like, there is no way you're going to tell me, oh, you're just affirming it all away, but you're not building your company, or you're not building the team, or you're not putting practical things in play, right? To be able to get that money. So we need to be very honest with ourselves and say, where am I falling short financially? Where do I need help financially? And start doing the work. Because you procrastinating and not doing any of the work actually doesn't help you in any way, shape, and form, because that means that more time is going by and you're saying tomorrow it will change. But what are you doing today to make sure that tomorrow your finances have changed? I've met so many people, and it breaks my heart, where like they told me last year things would be better by this year, and yet they're still in the same place. Because for things to be better next year, you should already be you should at least have an idea of how that will happen. You must be taking steps today, be it in terms of emotional healing, spiritual, deeper healing, combined with the practical healing, right? You're responsible for your healing. Show up for your healing. Money, there is this big, I don't know where it's coming from. All I can think is that a lot of law attraction teachers have perpetuated this concept of money as just this magical and mystical thing. It is not just purely magical and mystical. Yes, I say it's the Money Magic course and it's magical and mystical, but ask any of the Money Magic students. They are doing work. And yes, the results are magical and mystical, etc. But they are like literally crunching numbers on Sundays. And I'm like, here's the weekly goal setting worksheet. Work through it. Tell me, what is the action plan? If you say you want 100K for this income stream, what actions are correlated to this income stream? So if you want to make 100K from selling handbags, and then your action plan is to go sew dresses, okay, then like maybe there's a disconnect here. One of these things has to change. Either the handbags have to change or the dresses need to become handbags, right? So that's the key to this work, right? This is how we create Money Magic. You are part of this creation process. You have to show up for your own healing. Don't assume that it's all left to the divine, right? Because it's not just about that. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience, and the key word here is earthly experience. Part of that is to have this earthly experience, to understand this earthly experience, right? And to be part of it, to be part of this world and to live. Right? So you don't just check out because it's too scary, it's too painful, and so we abdicate our entire free will, our entire abilities to something, to the mystical powers of the divine, and our earthly will is just left untended, right? And that is a huge part of the financial breakthrough process. Okay, that's literally all I think I wanted to say today, was to just touch on this and to understand what healing is, and to understand again that what works for someone else may not work for you. In fact, we have an incredible podcast coming up with one of the investors from Zambia, and she was talking about this yesterday, about how she can teach, what real estate may work wonders for someone else, and the same person she has seen goes into a deal and they come out completely with the complete opposite end result, because what works for someone else may not necessarily work for you. So this is where healing comes into play, to understand what are your blocks, because you can be in the same deal, go through the same everything with investors, with everyone. They can come out with money, and your energy, your traumas, everything are part of the issue. They may also hold you back. Or people may go into the same investment with you, and you're the only one that comes out 100%, right? And that's when people accuse us of witchcraft. Hi, Daisy, because it looks like, oh, you took everyone there, but it was your energy, your healing process as well, right? So super excited. I am doing the final masterclass for Wealthy Money this year on November 28th. So you can join at wealthy-money.com/masterclass. Join us, have a conversation. I will open up the Money Magic course one last time this year then. And I look forward to seeing you guys. I will be increasing the price of the course in 2020. I feel like I do too great a job as a coach, and a lot of my coaching clients have been like launching incredible courses, and like they just pricing them a little bit higher, and they making me see that, oh my gosh, and they keep saying to me, Van, the course has to go up in price. And I'm like, damn, why did I teach you guys this? So I'm going to finally increase it, because that's also what my gut has been telling me for a while. But I am no longer doing the bank account challenge. I sat with this long and hard, and it took a lot out of me the last time to hold space for like 1,300 people. So I have turned it into a $97 course. It is on the Wealthy Money Academy website. I'll always be available for people. I won't be on the Facebook group answering questions. It will all be on the Wealthy Money course portal. I will answer questions on there. So if people want to get that course, do check it out. I really do value it. And I think that the real value of the course is that you get to do it, as you've got lifetime access, but every time you do it, you can ask me questions and go back and forth with me as often as you want. There is no group. The only course that has the group is the Money Magic course, right? And this is still the 5-day course. And I've added the weekly goal setting income worksheet onto the bank account challenge as the 5-day course. So I've made that lesson 5 and taken off the final masterclass and webinar. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic day. As you can see, it is very much nighttime for me. I've been sitting on the porch all day recording podcasts. Let me know your thoughts, insights, etc. Namaste.